Hi, my name is Emma.
Hi, my name is Xavier, and we would like to welcome you to Curious Conversations, a podcast for kids, by kids.
It's a podcast where we have conversations with adults and kids from all walks of life to learn about their passions and what inspires them, which we know will inspire us and hopefully inspire you too.
Why us, you might ask? Well, we love to ask questions. We are twins, and we just turned 11, and we have over a decade of experience being kids and having a point of view on many topics.
We thought a podcast would be a great way to learn something new and explore our interests in a different way, so we thought, why don't we give it a try?
On today's episode, we welcome Jane Kerr Thompson. She was an elite swimmer and Olympian, winning a bronze medal in the 1988 Seoul Olympic Games.
I'm so excited to be talking to an Olympian, especially during the Olympics. I love the Olympics. So far, I can't even keep track of all my favorite events. I like field hockey, obviously the swimming because it's so exciting. What about you, Xavier?
Probably one of my favorites are definitely swimming, the diving, the brand new skateboarding, and the brand new rock climbing.
Wait, we haven't even seen the rock climbing yet.
Hi, Jane. Welcome.
Hi there. Nice to meet you both.
So how are you?
I'm doing pretty well. I'm a little tired. Standing up watching the Olympics that are on late at night and then wanting to wake up early and see how everybody did in the morning. But it's all good.
Yeah, we've been watching the Olympics so much.
It's easy to watch, right? It's so exciting.
We love them in our house, all the Olympics. We're obviously training for Team Canada. So yeah. What do you think has been your favorite event so far?
Well, I'm going to have to say the events in the pool.
Yeah.
I know swimming is a favorite of a lot of people that watch, and I think it's because many of us are in the water. Many of us know how to swim in some capacity, but the going up and down the lane and the races are so close. It's just, and there's so many different races. It's butterfly, it's breaststroke, it's freestyle, there are relays. There's just so many that I'm glued to the TV when the swimming is on.
Yes. What do you think? What was your favorite stroke growing up?
I would say I probably didn't really have a favorite. So I swam every stroke except for probably breaststroke. I tried to swim breaststroke, but I wasn't very good at it. And so I think, my favorite event was the individual medley because I got to do all of them. But I excelled the most at freestyle, the shorter distances of the freestyle.
How about we start with your Olympic experience? What was it like to stand on the podium and win a bronze medal for your country and your relay team for Canada?
It was certainly a dream come true, and very, very emotional. I knew the girls on the relay team with me for a number of years. We competed against each other across Canada, so we were all friends. And I think when we realized after the morning races that we really had a chance at a medal, it got more and more exciting for us. But standing on the podium and seeing the Canadian flag get lifted, and up there with 3 friends, and accomplishing a dream I had when I was 7 years old was pretty special.
So what part of the relay did you do?
I actually did the butterfly. So I was a freestyler, and later in my swimming career, I figured out how to do butterfly. And on that particular relay, it was the 4x100 medley relay. So that's where every person swims a different stroke. And the woman that swam the freestyle leg was also a butterflyer. And so the coaches decided that it made sense for Andrea to do the freestyle and for me to do the butterfly, and that was going to be the fastest combination. But a fun fact is I've only ever swum butterfly on a relay once in my life, and it was at the Olympics. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I can imagine. So let's start at before the race. We see them waiting waiting before they go out and their name's called. What do you think they're feeling? What did you feel when you were waiting?
I think excitement, nervousness, lots of butterflies and crazy things going on in your tummy. But really just let's get going. Like there's just a lot of just adrenaline going in your bones and in your mind about thinking about visualizing how the race is going to go. It's so much more fun when you're in that room waiting with three friends than when you're there by yourself. So, there's a lot of kind of keeping people loose and trying to have a little bit of fun before what you see when everybody walks out onto the pool deck.
Oh, we only see the races on TV. We don't get to see what it takes to make the Olympic team. Can you tell us a little bit about that hard work?
First of all, you have to love what you're doing. And because it does take a lot of time, in the pool, for swimmers, you're generally in the pool 6 days a week and a couple of times a day for several hours at a time. So if you don't like what you're doing, then you're probably not. You're not going to be committed to it. So I started swimming, more seriously when I was about 8 years old. And so, it starts off a few days a week, and then obviously builds to what I've just said. But it's years and years of racing, sometimes just within your club, sometimes within, I live in the Toronto area, so sometimes it was with various teams in Toronto, and then it starts getting larger and larger. You start getting to be able to swim outside of the province, and then you get to swim in North America, and then if you're lucky enough, you get to swim in other places around the world.
Wow. The second Olympics you went to was in Seoul, Korea, right?
Correct.
So it's an experience people don't like a lot of people. I've never been to like Korea or anything. So what do you do outside of the village?
That's a great question. So Korea was really neat, and I say it was really neat because when I went to Los Angeles, all of the buildings and where you slept and the sports arenas were pretty much already there. They were based at the University of Southern California, so I was sleeping in the dorms that other students would be in the fall, and the pool I had actually been at before. In Korea, they basically built a village. And so we were in brand new buildings. We kind of had parks to walk to our events. And so that was kind of cool because it was really a village. Outside, and you don't really leave the village until you're done your sport and your race. And that's for a number. You want to rest, you want to eat properly, and you want to leave all your energy and thinking to the race itself. Once the race was over, we got to look around a little bit. We didn't do a lot of sightseeing in Korea, but back in 1988, the one thing I was told I needed to go do was go get some clothes made out of leather. And so there was really neat shopping. I think it was called Itaewon was the name of the town. And so a bunch of us went out after the races were over and had a bunch of leather clothes custom made. That was like a really big thing when I was 20 years old. I had this custom leather skirt and jacket and vest, and it was green.
Wow.
That's super cool. So who introduced you to swimming?
So my parents, where I grew up in Mississauga, our next door neighbors had a pool. And so it was really important. My mom wanted to make sure that I could swim in case I fell in the pool when I was little, and I could sort of float and get to the side. So my parents introduced me very, very young. And then there was a small outdoor swim club near where we lived called Fairfields. And I would ride my bike there when I was 5 every day when it opened at 9 a.m. And I would ride my bike back at 6 o'clock for dinner. And so, that was how I sort of enjoyed the water, loved the water. And then I broke my leg skiing when I was 7. And the therapy was was swimming once I got my cast off. And that was just in time for the summer of the 76 Olympics, which were in Montreal. And so I went back to Fairfields that summer, and my swimming had taken off. And I say taken off as I had just done so much better than I had the year before. And my coach, who was a university student, talked to my parents about whether they would be interested in getting me to swim more full time. And so that's when I joined the Etobicoke Swim Club, was right after the 76 Olympics. And I've been swimming there ever since. So I would say there was a number of life events that got me into swimming. And I would say it was never one particular person. It was a bunch of people and my love of the water probably that kept me going in it.
So you mentioned earlier that the training of the Olympics is like long and hard, but what is the best thing you learned from training for the Olympics?
Ooh, there's so many things. I would say goal setting would be a big one. And not just the goal setting of, I want to win an Olympic medal, but what are all the little goals? Like, what are all the little milestones and little goals that you need to hit in order to make that happen? And so I would say, and in order to do that, obviously you need to be around people that know what they're doing. You need to be around a coach that ideally has coached somebody else to that achievement before, and they can help you with what those goals would be. So I would say goal setting and then commitment to that goal and recognizing there are lots of little steps in order to get there. Another one would just be time management. So like being in the pool 6 hours a day is a lot, and going to school. And so figuring out how to still read the books I need to read and study for the tests I need to study for and go to class and be in the pool. Those would be two really important and big things that I did learn. And then I would say, failure, it's okay to not get there, realize what happened, and then, pick yourself up and figure out how you do better next time.
What is something that in your life that you have failed at or didn't quite do it, and what did you learn from that experience?
So I would say one example. So you mentioned I did also go to the 1984 Olympics. I was about 16 years old, I think 15 or 16 years old. And I was swimming okay. I wasn't swimming super, but I thought that I was going to be on the medley relay in those games. And at the last, what felt like the last minute, like a day or so before, I was told I wouldn't be on the relay and that somebody else that was swimming faster than me was going to get to go. That relay won a bronze medal in 1984. And so while I was really excited for the girls and the team and Team Canada, I was really secretly disappointed, quietly disappointed. And so I think, I'm not sure I would call that a failure necessarily, but I would say that really caused me to reflect, because going to the Olympics was the goal. And I didn't realize until that time that actually getting a medal was what I really, really wanted. And so that helped me reframe and rethink about things I might need to do differently so that wouldn't happen to me again.
So you were 15 or 16 when you went to the Olympics, but I've actually wanted this for a while. Most of the people train like for 4 years for the Olympics, but that would mean you'd probably have to start training for the Olympics when you were 11 or 12. When did you kind of set the goal or like feel like, oh, I'm going to the Olympics?
I think I always thought I could, even when I was 8 or 9 years old. And I say that because my cousin was a swimmer in the 1976 Olympics. So I was watching her and I thought, ooh, that's cool. I'd like to do that. If she can do it, why can't I do it? But I think what I really felt it was possible, I was probably 13 or 14 years old. That's when I think I thought, wow, this could really happen. But even before that, I had, in my mind, because I didn't really appreciate everything it would take, and I didn't really appreciate that it doesn't happen to everybody. I just felt like I could do it. Why not? And then I was able to really feel that that could actually happen to me when I was about 14 years old.
So what event did you swim in 1984?
I swam the 100 freestyle and the 200 freestyle. So the 100 freestyle is 2 laps of an Olympic-sized pool, and the 200 freestyle is 4 laps.
How did you do in those?
You know, and I also swam a relay,
Oh, nice.
which are my favorite events.
Yeah.
The 4x100 free relay, we came 5th. And then I believe I came 12th and 14th in the other 2 events, which for me at the time, again, was disappointing. My parents were there. My grandmother was there. They were in the stands cheering me on. I really wanted to figure out how to get in the final, but I don't think I really appreciated how to get there yet.
So you mentioned you came 5th. We watched Summer McIntosh, and we saw that she came 4th. What does it feel like just missing to be in the top 3?
Yeah, you know, I actually know Summer McIntosh. So
Really?
yes, her mother and I grew up together at the Etobicoke Swim Club. We went to the University of Florida together. We went to the '84 Olympics together, and we had our Summer's older sister, Brooke, and my daughter, Charlotte, are the same age.
Wow.
So, you know, Summer is just getting started in her international swimming career. And, you know, I think she will feel maybe a little disappointed about 4th, but also incredibly proud. There's not been a 14-year-old ever in the world that has swum as fast as she did.
She did very well. We watched her race. She did very well.
But I think, you know, coming 4th is tough. It is really just tough in general to be that close to getting a medal. And especially, you know, if this was your last games and you were 4th and you had not won a medal yet, that would likely be very hard to accept. I know Summer's got lots of years left in her, so I'm sure that will make her even more hungry for her next races.
After the 1988 Olympics, you went to a university on an athletic scholarship. How does that work, and what was it like?
So yes, so I was very fortunate. I had a number of schools that were swim schools that had good academics that were interested in me, and I did want to keep swimming. So I ended up going to the University of Florida. I did love the American university sports system and university system. I loved the balance of being able to get a great education and have almost the best in the world every day in the pool that I was training with. It was super fun to go to I was in the Southeast Conference, so that meant that I swam in Tennessee and Kentucky and Alabama. Those were some of the states that I competed against. And so that was fun. Again, I just love being part of a team and traveling with a team and racing with the team. And, you know, the school was super helpful if I missed a class and if I needed extra teaching or guidance, that they had those services available to us as NCAA athletes. But it was a great experience for me.
You were also the captain of the swim team, right?
In my last year, yeah.
How does that? I know, like, captains of hockey teams help out with like warm-ups and things, but what do captains of swimming teams do? Is it any different, or is it the same?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say I sort of help with the warm-ups or anything. It's more around. Although swimming is a lot of individual events, right? You have individual performing. There is still a aspect of team, and especially in the U.S. university system, when you're in a dual meet against another school, or if you're at the NCAA championships, every person's place is a point. And if you want your university to win the dual meet or win the NCAA championships, everybody needs to contribute and do their best. And sometimes, when people don't do their best or are disappointed in how they did, it's important to help them feel better about what they have accomplished and get them focused on the next race. So, I would say it's a lot about keeping the team together. It's a lot about supporting each other. If there's things that, maybe are not as functional as they should be in the team, it's being able to sort that out. So, but there's lots of different types of leaders on these swim teams. And I know watching this one, it's clear that Kylie, Masse, and Penny Oleksiak are definitely the leaders of this swim team, and they continue to stay very positive, even if they're disappointed with something themselves.
So you were very successful at your university. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
In my university swimming? Yeah. So I can't remember how many All-American things I have, but I do have a few. I was able to win several races at our Southeastern Conference Championships, and I was on a relay team that won an NCAA championship. The University of Florida never won the big prize while I was there, being the overall champs. Yeah, which was too bad. But we had a lot of fun coming in the top three for 4 years in a row.
Can you tell us a little bit about how you felt when you were doing a big, competitive swimming, and how you transitioned to the next stage of your life?
That's an excellent question, Xavier, because it is very hard. And a lot of athletes do struggle when they, retire from their sport and then figure out what they want to do next in life. I always had, my family life was always make sure you get a great education and think about what you want to do after you're swimming. So it was never a new thing for me. In terms of how I got ready to move to having a career in something other than swimming, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I just knew the types of things I liked and the type of people I liked to do it with. And so that became something that I looked for in a company, as opposed to, I wanted to be in broadcasting, or I wanted to be a vet or anything I didn't really know. So I did get a business degree from Florida. And then I ended up working for a company called Accenture. And the reason that I got attracted to Accenture is people work in teams a lot. You're working in a global company, so the idea of traveling was really excited. I wasn't ready to stop traveling. I did love the fact that I got to go all over the world with my swimming, and I think being able to help clients with their problems was also very exciting to me. So I think the getting up in the morning, focused on my swimming, getting up for a race, those were all things that prepared me to be what I am 28 years in the career now, a consultant that helps clients with their issues and helps them set goals for the business things that they want to achieve.
So how about you tell us about your career now? How did you end up with the job and that you have today?
So I think as I said, I fell into Accenture just because of the type of people they hired. They, hire people that are top performers in whatever they do, either top students, top athletes, top artists, and that tend to work well in a team and are very disciplined. I started off working in retail. So we back in when I started, there was a retail company called Eaton's. They're not around anymore. But you may be familiar with the Eaton Center downtown. That's where that department store was. And that's sort of where I got my first taste of technology. I was helping parts of their business with improving their processes, with how they take orders from customers, and then how they process them, and then how they get their payment. And that was a pretty laborious process back then. And then I just kept growing, I guess, and learning and accomplishing things. And now, 28 years later, I'm still with Accenture. I sit on our Canadian leadership team. I have responsibility for our oil and gas and utilities and chemicals and natural resources, and our things we do with the provinces across Canada, and public health. So I now run that part of our business in Canada for Accenture, and I'm pretty excited about. I can't believe that's what I do. I just never thought I would be in this career with this much success for this long, and I'm grateful for all the opportunities that Accenture gave me as I continued to have little bits of success over those 28 years.
So what is your passion today?
Oh, my passion today is really about stewardship and people and mentorship. I'm on the tail end of my professional career now, and I really love giving people opportunities to achieve goals that they maybe never thought they could, and help them see the best in themselves, in order to push them along and get even more successes than they thought. So, although I love helping clients, I love helping them solve their problems and celebrate their successes. What really inspires me is seeing people succeed and grow and become new leaders themselves.
Can you give us an example of how you mentor someone?
Yeah, so, I have, in particular, there's a lot of young women that I work with at Accenture. And, I think that I'm one of 3 ladies in our leadership group. So we're about 30% of the Canadian leadership team are women. And I think that sometimes it's hard if you're a mother and have children and want to have a successful career, or don't think that you can. So there's lots of sort of coaching and guiding and supporting, and looking out for opportunities for other women to grow into leadership positions. So I do a lot of that, Emma, and I do love that. I love being able to help women see that they can have, I don't know if they can have it all at the same time, but they can have it all.
So who or what inspires you?
My kids inspire me. My daughter is a huge risk taker. I don't consider myself a risk taker, and I love watching her try things for the first time and decide if she likes it and keeps going. I think sports in general inspire me. I think what people overcome to accomplish their success is very inspiring. So, I think my children and my son is great at just about every sport, and it's pretty amazing to watch him jump into new sports and try it and be great. And so I think, just as you can hear, sports is sort of in my blood, whether it's watching my kids do it or watching people I don't even know do it. I love the stories of what has taken somebody from their love of something to some tremendous accomplishment, whether it's their own personal one or something that we all admire when we watch it.
Before we finish, is there anything else you'd like to ask us?
Well, how did you, what's your favorite sports?
My favorite sport is hockey.
Nice.
I love hockey because it's probably one of the fastest sports, and I love moving really fast.
I have 3.
You have 3.
I love field hockey. I've played on the Dragons, or like a team around here. And I just got into lacrosse. It is super fun. I love it. And ice hockey. Yeah, I'm a goalie. I got into ice hockey first, and then field hockey, and then very, very recently lacrosse. No, just they're all just so fun. They're so I like team sports. I don't like the single sports like tennis or something like that. I just prefer team sports.
It is a different personality for sure to be part of a team versus an individual sport. That's great. Love hearing. So, Xavier, do you have a favorite hockey team?
Yes, the brand new Seattle Krakens.
We'll see how they do. I am a diehard Leaf fan. So
I am too.
The next time the Leaf...
I'm a Montreal fan.
Oh, no, Emma! Must be fun in your house. Must have been fun in your house during the playoffs.
I'm the only Montreal fan.
Everybody's allowed their favorite. And what's been your, what have you been, this podcast, I think is one of your summer activities. What else have you guys kept yourselves busy with this summer?
I've gone swimming a lot. We have a pool in our backyard. It's wonderful, and we have kids already down the street, so I've been playing with those kids.
I've been playing with a lot of Lego. I've been playing with my friends. Actually, a couple days ago, I just had a sleepover with them. I've definitely been playing with our dog.
I don't know if you can see it, but our dog is right behind my camera right here.
No, I can't see it. I have a dog too. I love dogs.
Yeah, he's a beagle.
Oh, nice. What's his name?
Maverick. What type of a dog do you have?
We have a Leonberger.
I've never heard of that.
That's a very big dog. Looks like a lion. She's not with me right now. She's with my daughter, but yeah, she's about 120 pounds, and she's all fur, but she thinks she's a beagle.
Thank you so much for being on this episode.
Well, I hope that you guys continue to root Canada on, right? We've got another almost 9 days for the Olympics. I think there's a lot more coming in the pool. We haven't started athletics yet. Lots more excitement for Canada. I think we've already got as many medals as we did in the last game. So I think it's going to be a great next week or so. Well, thank you, Emma and Xavier. This was fun. I hope you have a great rest of the summer, and I appreciate you having me on as a guest.
It was so nice to talk to Jane and hear about all her stories, to learn what it was like to be on Team Canada.
When we talked to Jane, the Olympics had just started. We had won medals in the pool, and I liked watching the women's relay team win silver and bronze.
But now we've won medals in so many sports. An especially memorable moment is when in the women's rowing, I think in the women's 8 rowing, where a team member jumped out of the front of the boat because they were so happy that they won gold. And I bet all Canadians and soccer fans alike loved seeing Team Canada win soccer gold. Such a big moment for soccer, and I especially enjoyed it.
We are so proud from all our Olympians who represented Canada in these Olympic Games. Even if they didn't win a medal or not, we think they tried their absolute hardest, and we all know that they deserved everything that they worked for.
Thank you for listening, and I know all the shows you listen to probably say this, but please rate the podcast and download the episode. And follow us on Twitter and Instagram. That'll be in the show notes. And if you want to say hi to us, we'd love to connect with you.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Curious Conversations.
Bye!